movie, we will prove how women in Europe have been political advertisements for political parties such as the Nazis, Communists, Islamists, and secularists.
So we're at the location of the Black Women's Memorial, and this memorial is in honor of the women who protested daily against in front of a prison where their innocent Jewish husbands and loved ones were held prisoners during World War II.
These women were persecuted because they went against Nazi control for protesting for their loved ones. Hitler was threatened by women who expressed power and was willing to break up family even though he believed every man should be married. This is an example of a man who got separated from his wife during World War II because she was involved in political activity and opposed Hitler.
We are here at the crime scene of Rosa Luxemburg, and she was a German politician, and this is where she was murdered and thrown into this canal. And her name and this symbolic memorial is remembrance of the impact she had on women in Germany.
Rosa Luxemburg was a German politician and member of the Communist Party. She was a brave and outspoken woman. She fought against war, oppression, and militarism. She challenged the government to have complete revolution over governmental systems after World War I.
So now it's after World War II, and Germany was happy that it was over. But now the Cold War has developed between Russia, United States, and Great Britain. There was a wall put up and split Berlin between East and West. This has caused women to be different. The East were now communists, and the West were now non-communist. This created different behavior and roles in women between the two sides.
This shows how in the East, women dressed more casual and simple. This business outfit represents how women valued working outside the home. Women living in the West played the role of the housewife, so they mimicked the way that Americans and Western European women dressed.
In the West, the husband was the breadwinner. Women's main role was to be homemakers and have children, which meant they were unemployed. In the East, they had a different take on work labor. They remained working because the Soviets highly pushed women to be part of the economy. When daycare was established for those who were mothers, they were now entering education programs and labor force. Most men were trying to get into the West Germany, which made the population for women in the East higher and more important. 90% of the women worked outside the home. Also, during the Cold War, West Germany and their women wanted more equal rights, so they started a movement. They were now allowed to work outside the home. The Eastern and Westerners were more interested in attending universities. But women in the West felt more pressure to be housewives. World War II was now over, and Germany was happy that it was over. But now a Cold War has developed between Russia, the United States, and Great Britain. There was a wall put up and that split Berlin between two sides of East and West. The women now were different on each side. The East were now communist and the West were now non-communist, creating different behavior and roles in society. There's still discrimination in Germany in regards to women. They do not hold key positions in many work fields, and most of their frequent jobs are in healthcare and education. There's also a slight difference between women in East and West. In the East, girls have better jobs and usually work full-time. Even though many East German women are successful, they do have struggles. They do not care much about their appearance. It's said to be that they have less respect for themselves, which makes pregnancy at younger ages more common. In the West, women are wanting to be more confident, educated, and work full-time. The article that we had to read for class, which was called 20 Years After Fall of Wall, Women of Former East Germany Thrive. The article states that women in the East were also less fazed by the economic crisis because they've lost their entire existence once and they had to be creative to bounce back. And I feel like this may be the difference in why their East and West women are so... There are women in Germany who are very important in society. Chancellor Angela Merkel is attracting many women voters based on how she changed the conservatives.
In the 1960s, working Turkish men began bringing over their wives to Germany. As more came, Germany began having a Muslim religious community. These women were to hide behind their homes and be housewives. Nowadays, more visible Muslim women are around Germany. Germans have accepted these people into their country. As Turkish-German women's rights activist Seyran Ates states, there are two societies with two different value systems living side by side but separate from one another. Because these Muslims are getting inspiration from westernized Europe, they are becoming more interested in careers and education even if their family doesn't approve. Speaking with Astrid Samet, she told us a story that a Muslim girl was writing an application to follow her dreams of being a lifeguard, but the next day she deleted her application because her boyfriend did not want her to expose herself. As you can see, Muslim women stay true to their religious background, but it balances with being influenced by German roles of women.
Since Turkey has created Muslim communities within Germany, it's also fascinating to see how Turkish Muslims impact their own country.
Turkey is an interesting country because it is filled with secular and religious women. Some stick to traditional Islamic practices and some are made more modernized.
I heard you said that you spent time in Berlin. Did you see like a difference in the Muslim women there and here, like job wise? Like, is it different to get like different position jobs?
The educated women seems, more burden-like, for example. But those women are not working and not educated. They are not different from the women of Fatih or any slum neighborhood of any Muslim religious neighborhood of Istanbul. But they are at the same time not like the women.
The modern women want to be more visible so they don't express religion as publicly. They don't believe in keeping their body fully sacred by not wearing a headscarf and by showing more skin. These modern Muslims often experience family criticism because of their different practices. The more traditional Muslims are those who keep their body very sacred by covering themselves with a headscarf. If women are to go against sexual relations before marriage, their family can conduct honor killings to keep to their beliefs. When dealing with labor, most women hide behind their husband because they want these women to stay at home and not work.
From an article we found online called In Europe, Muslim Women Face Multiple Issues, it stated that growing belief that empowerment of women is the key factor in helping communities integrate into mainstream society. At the same time, the closer Muslim women get to European secular culture, the further they will drift from traditions and their families. This will lead to conflict and alienation.
I think there could possibly be an equal future for German and Turkish women in the future down the road. I feel like this wouldn't happen for a while though because Muslim religion is so strong and it's visible through the way the women act and the way they dress.
Future for German and Turkish women. I just feel like, Muslim women are becoming more like Americanized and Western Europeanized because they're just like living around them so much. But overall, I feel like the religion practices and like the family criticism that they go through every day will be more powerful. And I just feel like the way that they keep their body so sacred and they practice like the rules of the religion, I just feel like since they have to abide by them, it would take like years to change like the way that they perceive them.